Y'all would not believe. And she had the nerve to show up to work the next day. Like, girl, do you know how much trouble you're in right now? Okay.
That's weird.
Thank you guys for staying tuned. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. If you're not new, welcome back, y'all. Thank you so much for all the love and support, guys. I just felt like I haven't done a story time in a very long time. So I decided to come on to give y'all a story time. And till then, until now, me and my homegirl, when we talk, because it'd be like months after we hear from each other, but when we do hear from each other, we always talk about this one story that I'm about to fill you in on. Okay, that thing was just crazy. My first customer service job, call center job, was in 2006, guys. I might be telling y'all my age, or if y'all good with math, y'all will be able to guess. But anyways, that's not what this story time is about. So I've been working in a daycare for like 4 years, and then of course I wasn't making anything. You know, in daycares, I don't know nowadays if they pay more, but back in the days they weren't paying really nothing. So my friend, she came to visit. She was like, yo, you know, my job is hiring, you know what I'm saying? And this is how you could go about it and you could get hired right away. So I was like, okay, cool. So I thought about it and I was like, I don't want to like leave the daycare because I got so attached to those little rascals. They love me and I love them back. So she just kept poking me and calling me up like, girl, did you do the resume? Did you do your application or whatever? I'm like, no, I don't even know how to do a resume. She came over to my house and she just flipped the script on me. She had her resume already, but all she did was put my name on it and my email address and my telephone number. And then she gave it to her supervisor because they were really desperate. When I tell you they were really desperate, y'all, they were like a call center where they just was hiring anybody. Like they wasn't even doing background checks or nothing. As long as you knew how to navigate a computer, because they did like the computer typing test or whatever. But I don't even think they even cared about you, your typing skills. I just think that they wanted to know if you knew how to read. That's what their thing was. So with that said, y'all, so I finally got hired. Um, I did training. Guys, the trainer did not know what the heck he was talking about. He did not have no great training skills, no great communication, no nothing. So when we got on that floor, y'all, we were all lost. We were all scared. We all panicked. The majority of the class quit because they felt like they weren't ready and they weren't prepared. But no, I held on. I held on. I thugged it out because my friend was there making sure that I was on top of everything. And I think she was trying to do that because of the referral. At a certain, I think with the referral, it was like up to 3 months. So if you could get the person to stay there, the person that you refer the job to, if you could get them to stay there for like 3 months, you get 600. And then the person, I forgot what the other person gets. So yeah, I was gonna stay there anyway because I was making more money than at the daycare and I was loving it. And at the time I was living with my parents, so I really didn't have no bills. So all that money was going to me. So I did have a bill. My bill was to pay my car. My payments was $300 every month for my car, and that was it. At the time, I had a cell phone, but my boyfriend was paying for my cell phone. So those were the only two bills I had at the time, my car and my cell phone. So then, you know, that job became very addicting. And it was like a fashion show. Like everybody, like payday was Friday, bi-weekly, and people at the mall shopping, we linking up at the clubs. It was just everybody sleeping with everybody. You know what I'm saying? It was like a whole family because when you're in a call center, you're a family. It's like you see these people every day. You got to run into these people every day and you build a relationship with these people. So, so basically the way this call center was set up is like different departments. So, I was working for DirecTV, customer service and technical support. And then they also had Taco Bell department, customer service. They had Comcast department, customer service. And they had the billing DirecTV department there too. So it was a really big call center, y'all, with different departments. So like I was telling y'all, they didn't do no background checks or anything like that on these people that they were hiring. So this one girl that we knew, she was popping like, yo, when I see somebody and if I like something like you got on or you're wearing or your hair, whatever the case may be, I'm stopping you so I could compliment you. That don't mean that I'm into you or I'm feeling you. No, you look good, so I'm gonna give you your props and say, hey, you look good, your hair look nice, your outfit look nice, where you got it from, or this and that, because I'm interested, obviously, if I'm coming up to you, complimenting you and asking you where you're getting it from. So this girl was so flashy. The cars that she was driving to work, she was just making herself so obvious. And guys, I'm from Miami, Dade County, 305. So y'all already know what Dade County is all about. If you don't know, let me fill you in. Okay. That's where the scammers live, okay? The scammers, the drug dealers, all of that, okay? Miami is where it's at. You get whatever you want for the low, okay? And I'm telling you this, for the low, all right? So basically, this girl here, she was a huge scammer. She was working for different people that was scamming along with her, okay? Me, I'm so innocent, guys. Like, I was surrounded by scammers, but not understanding the meaning of a scammer, what they do and how they did it. Didn't understand none of that because I wasn't even focused on that. You know, when you're the only child, you're spoiled, you get whatever you want. That's where I was at the time. So I didn't have to like hustle and bustle and try to make ends meet because life was good back in the days for me. So I was just, how should I say, in la la land, like, you know, always partying with my homegirls, you know, hanging out, just doing what a teenager's supposed to do. You get it? So we started seeing more detectives like coming in, you know what I'm saying? Because one of my homeboys, like, I had a lot of male friends because I chilled with a lot of male friends, and the female friends that I did have, they were more upbeat, they were very outgoing, they were into fashion and stuff like that. So, you know, it was just good vibes basically. So one of my homeboys was like, you know, that's a DT right there, you know, that's a cop. I was like, for real? He's like, yeah. And I was like, so why is he here? He's like, you know, I overheard there's some stuff going on here. And I'm like, you talking about drugs? He's like, maybe. But the big thing is somebody is scamming here while working here. So I was like, what does that mean? And then when I said that, somebody else was coming, so we had to switch up our conversation. But guys, I never revisited that conversation because the person that came to interrupt our conversation was someone I was supposed to be going to lunch with. I was just waiting until that person completed the call and we were supposed to head out together. So after that, I've never asked dude, like, what happened, what was all that about, what does that mean, and stuff like that, because it didn't really matter to me. As long as it ain't had nothing to do with me, I ain't worried about nothing. So days pass, days go by, guys, right? We seeing like different DTs, different detectives coming in, like back to back, every day, like, and they dressing up like, you know, urban, but you can tell that they are DTs because, guys, I'm not racist when I say this. These are white men coming in. Like, if you want to be more, you know, you don't want people to be obvious and like, you know, you don't want to make yourself look obvious as if you're a DT. don't be a white person coming in a black call center. I'm just trying to be honest. I'm just being transparent and upfront, y'all. Like, the whole call center, it was African American people. Period. So if a white person coming in, we automatically looking at you funny, like, not in a nasty way, because we're automatically thinking that, oh, that's the CEO of the company, or this the big boss, we need to act right, this and that. That's how we're thinking, and that's how we're looking at it. But, word got around the call center that, something's going on here, and that's why these people are coming in here dressing like they one of us when they really not, when we know what the deal is. So, and the people I hang with, guys, are always in the sauce. They always know everything. How do I know? I mean, how do they get their news? I don't know. I never really cared, but they will always come to me with the insight of it all. So I'm like, okay. Me and my nonchalant attitude, me and my la in my own little world. I'm just worried about getting this money, eating, try to figure out what we're eating for lunch and for dinner, and where we going after payday and stuff like that. That was my thing, y'all. I was a club hopping girl, okay? I was always in the malls and shopping or whatever. So that same girl that I was always telling you about that was a bit flashy, she was, how can I say? She was basically what they were there for. So she apparently was known to be a scammer, right? Because she worked in call centers previously from the one that I was working at. And before I heard, this is what happened. So the call center she worked at before they can even catch up with her, she was able to get as much information as needed. And then she quit, right? So basically they couldn't find her. So after she quit, supposedly 3 months after, that's when they realized that's what she was there for. And then she got like a whole bunch of customers' information and stuff like that. And that's how she was able to be, like real flashy with it, like getting all these fancy cars, dressing up, like bringing attention to her. Because, like, listen, the stuff that she used to buy, guys, like the Louis Vuittons, the all the big fancy big brands that nobody could afford at the time, like people like us, we couldn't afford. That's what she was wearing. Those fancy cars that we couldn't afford and we couldn't even drive, that's what she was driving to work. So basically what happened was, one of my homeboys, he was like, yo, Lou, you busy? You good? Because he was considered as he was in a higher position than me. He was known to support people. Like, if they need help, he'll be there to assist them. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't on the phones like how I was 24/7 or whatever. I say 24/7 because I was always there doing overtime. So so then he comes up to me and he's like, yo, you busy on the phones? I said, nah. He was like, come with me, I need to talk to you about something. So I was like, okay, cool. We walk in and then we talking or whatever. He telling me what he had for lunch or whatever and stuff like that. So then he was like, that's the girl that they here for. I said, no, we created a name for her. We call her Miss Flashy. I said, nah, Miss Flashy? He's like, yeah. You don't see that DT sitting right behind her? I was like, oh my God. He said, I think they're about to snatch her up right now. Because they've been eyeing her. They've been watching her. They've been asking me questions. And I was like, have you been giving them information? He was like, nah. Nah, man, they ain't finna get nothing out of me. Because if they think they going to get something out of me, they got the wrong person. He said, shit, I live by that motto, snitches get stitches. And I was like, hell yeah, shit. And he's like, Yeah, but I think they're about to snatch her up right now. And once he said that, sure enough, y'all, the guy turns around, and it happened in slow motion, okay? The guy turns around because they were tapping on her phone, and he turns around, right? He still had the headset on. He turns around slowly, and then he looks over her shoulder like this, y'all. Y'all looking? He looks over her shoulder like that. And I guess whatever device she had out, homeboy, seeing that, he slowly took his headset off, and then that's when he took the handcuffs behind his pocket. And homegirl, not knowing this is happening behind her because she's on the phone with a customer, and whatever she's doing, she's talking to the customer and she's on that phone. Whatever she's doing with that phone, if she's texting or whatever, she's focused on what she's doing because she's looking down. And he was like, he snatched the phone out of her hand and she looked at him, and then he said, "Ma'am, you are under arrest." We all stood up. Everybody, listen, guys, we were all looking like we were on a cotton field. The whole freaking call center stood up, okay? Stood up with their headsets on because everybody's taking calls. And they looked at this girl getting arrested. And this girl was so embarrassed, and I felt so bad for her. And where she was seated, guys, she was seated. Let me remind you, this call center is a big ass call center. She was seated all the way in the back of the call center now. All the way in the back, y'all. All the way, like all the way in the back. And for you to get arrested, and you have to walk all the way in the front, because it was only one way in and one way out. Not saying that that's the only door that was available, but that's the only exit and entrance that they wanted us to use due to the badges that we had to use or whatever. And then the other exits in the back of the building was for like emergency purposes, like fire or whatever. So homegirl sit all the way in the back of the building. So when she had to walk all the way down to the main entrance to get out, to the main exit to get out, you should see how everybody was looking at her and how everybody's head was moving really slowly, like slow motion, okay? So finally, when she gets to the main exit of the building while the cops are escorting her out, that's when everybody sits down. And you know, the supervisors, they messy too, right? They're supposed to be telling everybody to sit down, don't worry about it, just handle the calls, everything is taken care of. Nope, the supervisors stood up too, and they were looking as well. It was crazy, y'all. When I tell you it was crazy, it was crazy. It was sad. It was just, oh my gosh. And it was all over the news. All over the news for a whole 2 weeks straight. That girl was a celebrity, y'all, for a whole 2 weeks straight on the news. Okay? And she was one of my people. She was a Zoe. If you don't know what a Zoe is, she was a Haitian American girl. Okay? And word on the street was she was making so much money off of scamming, guys. She was able to pay her mama car off, pay her mama mortgage off. You know what I'm saying? And get cars on top of cars on top of cars. Now, if these cars are under her name, you already know what's happening. But I'm sure that her mama is not going to get affected at all because nothing is under her name. You get what I'm saying? So, but my peoples, they good with they black magic. So, homegirl probably did not even last that long in jail, okay? If you want bad things to happen to somebody, hit my peoples up. Hit my Zoe peoples up, because they already know how to do it, okay? If you want good blessings, don't go to the Zoe people, because they don't really know how to do blessings like that, because it's always going to backfire some way, somehow. Guys, I'm talking mess. But anyway, yeah, so that was the madness in the call center that I worked for. And that was the very first call center I ever worked for. And, you know, she was the talk of the call center for a whole month or two. We just kept talking about her. I just kept saying, because I'm just a positive person, I just said that, damn, I just hope that, you know, she learns from this, that she doesn't do this again when she gets out of jail. And hopefully she doesn't have to stay in jail for that long. You know what I'm saying? I was just thinking, and people were like, oh, they're going to rape her in jail. They're going to, I'm like, oh my God, why do people talk like this? Why do people think like this? But yeah, these things are real, guys. Call centers, boy, they are known. They are known. That's why I do more of handling my stuff online. But even though online too, hackers, so you're never safe nowhere. Either you do it online or you do it on the phone with a representative. You're not safe. So, but how I prefer to do stuff is doing everything online. Simple. I don't even feel comfortable providing my social security number to a live representative, nor my credit card information to a live representative. So it's crazy. And we did have access to a lot of things, guys. We had access to a lot of customers' information to where it was given to us. Like, these call centers are saying, here, go ahead and scam. Here, because you got all the information in front of you. So there you go. Go ahead and take all these, you know, as much information you want to get from these customers and do what you need to do with them. But I don't know. Some people, when they scam, they don't know when to stop because the money is too good to be true. And they keep on and keep on. And she got addicted to that lifestyle and did not realize that it was going to hit her hard. She did not think that this was going to catch up to her. And it did. And it did. And one thing about Black people is, like, when they get in money, they flodge so hard. They go hard. And you shouldn't do that. Like, when you're getting money, great. More power to you. But you ain't got to show everybody that you getting it. I get it, because you're not used to it. You wasn't born with it. It wasn't handed to you. It's something that you probably worked hard for, or you barely worked hard for it. But still, nobody needs to know, because by the end of the day, you're being watched. You're being watched, and they're going to let you flaunt your money. They're going to let you enjoy it. And you're going to get to a certain point in life where you're going to be like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I should have never went all out like that. Guys, because karma, you already know karma. And then I'm just saying that life is not worth it. It's not worth it at all. But that's that story, y'all. That's that story that we still be talking about, me and my homegirl, every time. Because we be like, dang, we wonder how she doing now. What's up with her? Is she still alive? You know what I'm saying? Like, did she stop doing it, or did she go back to doing it? Like, what is she doing? You know what I'm saying? So you never know, guys. People, they get locked up and then they either change for the good, or they just go back to what they know and what they are okay with. But that call center was something else, y'all. They used to, like, and that's everywhere, I'm sure. The dope boys used to be at the parking lot, you know. I mean, it was hustlers. People, like, they used to sell, like, clothes, shoes. You know, you get whatever. That was a one-stop shop at that call center, because you get your dope there. You get clothes and shoes there. You get people that go and steal clothes and shoes, and they come and sell it to you. You get jewelry. Girls know how to do hair and nails at that call center. Like, one-stop shop, okay? And these restaurants, they were making a lot of money because we were always eating, ordering food. It was the bomb. It was a bomb.com. I'm never gonna lie. And that's what made me continue on with customer service. And after that, I ain't never stopped doing customer service work. So I've been doing customer service work since 2006, y'all. 2006. And I'm never gonna stop. But guys, if you got this far in this video, you did not yet like, comment, and subscribe, go ahead and do that. And I will see you back on the next video. Thank you so much for all your love and support. See y'all. Bye.